MXGP from the Netherlands in Arnhem, round 17 of 20. We get a week off, then we've got 3 in a row. Turkey, China, Australia, week off, and then the Nations. The Australia's UFA and Motocross the Nations in the USA. Coming in thick and fast now. Blink and you miss it. Roll on the end of the season in fine style, that's all I can say. But we've definitely got a bit of a championship battle on in both categories, haven't we? Interesting to see how it plays out today in race 2 in MXGP. Romain Febvre deep in thought ahead of this second MXGP race. Here's how the championship looks. Remember, it was 41 points heading into race, well, the qualifying race on Saturday. It's now 40 heading into race 2 between Romain Febvre and Lucas Koenen. Koldenhoff there third. He's 88 clear of Ruben Fernandez, who is 22 clear now of Calvin Belanger. Jeffrey Herlings lining up on pole for the 3rd time this year. Koldenhoff will go next to him, then Febvre, Koenen, Gajser, Bonaccorsi, Bogus, the rest of the riders. As you can see, 38 riders lining up in MXGP this weekend. Romain Febvre had a golden opportunity to pull more points clear of Lucas Koenen in race 1 when he was down on the deck and Febvre was sitting pretty in 4th place. But the pace and the relentlessness of Lucas Koenen on the number 96 Red Bull KTM was there for all to see. He still believes he can be world champion. He passed Romain Febvre with a lap to go for 2nd place. Febvre ended up 3rd. The gap is still pretty seismic, 40 points, but as we've seen over the years, 40-point gap can disappear. As we've seen in MX2 fairly recently, a gap of that size can also be whittled down very, very quickly. Herlings, Koldenhoff, gate 2, Febvre 3, Gajser, Lucas Koenen, Bonaccorsi, Bogus. Green flag at the back. Green flag down here, Mr. Ingo Parks, the FIM race director. Signals for the fly race in 15-second board to go for the final time this weekend. Who will stand on the top step of the podium here at Arnhem in the Netherlands? Who will win the battle? Jeffrey Herlings looking for his 16th Dutch success on home soil. Gates drop. Oh, bar bang in action, and Koenen getting caught. Herlings didn't look like he made a good drop, and Brumman down on the outside. The rider who finished, what, 9th in the first race. Koldenhoff leading the way, but just as we saw in race 1, he and Herlings battling for the lead. Herlings quickly by turn 3. Koldenhoff may have got the foxhole shot, but it's Herlings in front at the first time of asking. Febvre in 3rd, Bogus 4th, Bonaccorsi 5, Gajser, Geerts, Jonas, Fernandez, Renault, Koenen in 15th place. Better than it was in race 1 at least. But not what he wanted, getting tagged. Coming out of the gate, 1/3 of the way down the start straight, banging bars with somebody. Febvre hanging on to 3rd at the moment. In the background, just wondering whether the team have fired a rocket up his backside just to make sure that what happened in race 1 doesn't happen in race 2. Doesn't want to give any kind of incentive to Lucas Koenen. There is Koenen outside now, losing a position on the way out of that turn. As Herlings comes back in the opposite direction. Herlings complimenting what Koenen did in the first race, said he was fast, and also that he'd only been back on the bike for 3 weeks, so not to expect too much, trying to save some energy. Well, Herlings might need every ounce of that energy in this second race. Koldenhoff here in 2nd, Febvre 3rd, Gajser in 4th, Bogus 5th on the 189. In fact, he's just been passed by his teammate Bonaccorsi. Bonaccorsi now in the 5th place. Then we got Jonas there, just behind the Yamaha of Jago Geerts. Geerts on the jump now. Haven't seen too much of the number 93, who finished 17th in race 1. Herlings out of sight. 3 seconds clear, a 1:45.026 on that opening lap. That is already going to be